Let's talk about one thing, because we've talked about foundation, we've talked about the different insights, we talked about the impact that people can see. Uh, what ends up happening is people hear these things and then they say, well, how do I take action? I don't know exactly what to do. I'm inspired, but I don't want to be that guy that you just described where I get all these ideas and then I run with all of them and all I'm doing is complicating things. So let's lock down to like one thing, one or two things. What's something that someone can do to get started? They're trying to figure things out.
Yeah, so it's going to sound weird,
Mhm.
but it's very important advice. Do less. Do less. I had a I had a brand alignment call with someone the other day who she'd hired me for this call. And we'd done this before. We'd done this a year prior. And I hadn't seen anything change.
Mhm.
And so we did this again a year later. And I was asking her the same kinds of questions. Like, I know that you're not money motivated, but you've told me that money is important. You need to be making money. Okay, so this, that, and the other. I asked a bunch of questions
Mhm.
and I got resistance to every single question. And so I took it back and I said, do you need money? Do you actually need for this to be a profitable
Mhm.
business? And she said, well, no, technically, no.
That matters.
So I said, do you have a spreadsheet of what you need to make to cover your expenses? Yes, she does. Turns out it's like $2,000 to $3,000 to cover her expenses for the year. So it doesn't matter if she's making money. It matters that she can make $2,000 to $3,000, which she should be able to do in her sleep in a year. And so I said to her, okay, this gets to just be fun then. It's time to retire the business that you have built that is so frustrating and time consuming,
Mhm.
and then just exist in the world doing the thing that you want to do. Connect with people, connect with nature, help people to connect with nature. Do that as kind of a retirement career.
Be
Make money when
yourself.
money is available, but don't make it the point.
Mm.
And that's an extreme case. That is someone who really is at the point where it's time to retire from what she is currently doing. Not everybody is at that place. Most people are not. But in saying do less, one of the things that I said to her was, to what end? Because she has all of these ideas, all of these things that she feels like she's supposed to do, all of these time consuming projects that she's had on her to do list for 5 years. To what end would you accomplish these goals? What are you going to get out of these? Because if the answer is money, okay, do that if you need the money.
Mhm.
If the answer is, I'm going to complete this project because I really like giving gifts to people, then complete the project and send these things out as gifts. That's it. We get so bogged down with ideas and directions and other people's opinions,
Mhm.
and it does not serve. What I have said about branding, I'll say it a million times, is that it is the core, it is the soul of what you do. So take a day, take a week, shut down if you can, and literally go through folder by folder and put anything in the trash that is just clutter. Anything that's been on the to-do list for 5 years and hasn't gotten done, ask yourself, to what end would I accomplish this goal? And if you don't have an answer, or if the answer doesn't match the fundamental core of who you are and what you're building, get rid of it.
Mhm.
Release it. Do less. Because most of what we as entrepreneurs do is busy work. We keep ourselves busy because we feel like we have to be busy in order to justify
Mhm.
having our own business.
Absolutely.
I could be busy and have a job. I could have a job that has a steady income and hours and benefits and all kinds of things. I didn't choose that. Why make myself busy, busier than I would be in that job? I don't need to justify my being here. I do need to follow my passion. And if I'm stretched in 10 different directions, that's not what I'm doing.
I love it. I know there's going to be people out there that connects with. I am one of them. I am someone that I am constantly busy. I've had people go, "Well, when do you like? You're always working." It's because I actually enjoy what I'm doing, so it doesn't necessarily feel like work. But I do have to catch myself at times going, "Okay, do you need this now, though?" And it's
Or
a
do you need it at
reoccurring
all?
thing that comes up. Yeah, it, remove the clutter, remove the things that are fluff, that the things that you have on the back burner of, is that something that you put on your to-do list because it's something that you needed to do, or was it something that was a nice to have? Because nice to haves aren't things that should be on your list of priorities. Nice to haves are things that you do when you've got time on your hands and you're going, okay, well, what do I do now? Like I've taken care of everything else. And now I have time to be able to think to go, what else can I do to improve? As opposed to what do I need to accomplish to get to where I want to be able to go? Drastically different things. Um, I constantly have to remind myself of that. There are sticky notes and things that I put up to remind myself that there is a bigger picture. I know this is something that I did when I first started my business. I had a whole ecosystem that I wanted to be able to build out. I am oddly, I think I'm in year 7, and I'm just getting to the point where, like, now the pieces make sense that I put into place, domains that I bought, and websites, and all the rest of these things that I was doing, and it was my mind was moving at a pace that my business wasn't moving at. And I needed to be able to get clear on, okay, it's great that you can see that far down the road, but you need to look at where you're stepping. Because if you're not looking at where you're stepping, then you can end up putting yourselves on paths that are going to take you who knows how much longer to try to figure out how to get back to where you're supposed to go. So doing less so that you can be clear and confident about what you're doing allows you to be intentional. When you're intentional, then you start to see the progress, then you start to see the results, then you start to feel like, okay, now I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, or you realize this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. But you'll never figure that out if you're constantly doing busy work, because you won't have time to go, I don't really like this, or why is this taking me so long? It's taking you long because you don't enjoy what you're doing. Like I used to do websites. I stopped doing websites because I wasn't really doing websites. I was doing strategy, and throwing in a website is the reality of what I was doing.
Right.
But I was selling the web design, but I'd build a site and they go, oh yeah, well, I mean, you're going to want to put this in and this strategy, and you're going to want to phrase this way. And you got to tell a story with each page. And I mean, I was doing a job of multiple people, and I loved the strategy part of it. But when it came to the web design part, every time they were like, oh, can you make this part bigger? Can you move this here? Can you move that there? And I'm just like, this isn't the
No.
part I like doing. Like I can do it, but like this, I'm in my mind, I'm going, you're focused on this, and I'm trying to tell you about this part that's gonna not it's I used to tell people on the corporate side where I was like, you're chasing these in the wind, stepping on 20s on the floor. Like you're so busy
Yes.
focused on this part that you're not looking at all the things that you're overlooking that would allow you to be able to see the progress and make all the strides that you want to be able to make. And that's not just for you, that's for everybody around you. Because the people around you are saying, well, I can't really talk to them right now because they're working on the business. I can't ask them this because they're working on the business. I can't this, I can't that. Or they may just think that you're saying that you're doing it, but you're not actually doing anything. If you don't build something that shows people that you're taking it serious, then in some cases, we talked about the different reasons people start a business. I can't tell you how many people that I talk to that are business owners in name only. And it makes me sad,
Yeah.
because I'm like, if that's what you're doing it for, that's fine. You can be a business owner, but you built a business that requires you to run it. So, like, I had someone tell me once, he was like, I put some money aside. I'm trying to figure out what I want to be able to do. Like, I want to be able to invest, but like stocks and stuff is crazy right now. I don't want to do that. I think I want to do a business, but like, I'm not sure what I want to be able to do. And I said, okay, well, what's giving you pause? Well, I don't want to lose the money. Okay. So then you want to do something that you're more risk averse. So you want to do something that's a little more safe. So you're probably going to be in a simulator. You're not trying to create something brand new. You're trying to figure out something that already exists, that's a working model, and you can just figure out how to make it your own. What is your expertise? Well, I don't really have time to be in the business. Okay, so then you really want to be a business owner, and your expertise needs to be knowing who to hire and who you can trust to make sure that they're doing all the work, and what you're doing is you're funding it. And just continue to drill down and narrow it down to the point where he was able to go, well, without giving it any real effort or thought, I could do like a catering business. I know a bunch of people that do, baby showers and things like that. I was like, that's a revenue stream right there. You don't have to do anything beyond what you're already doing. You get dragged to all of these things anyway. So if you're going to do it, you might as well, you know what food is there. And when somebody does it wrong and all the rest of it, you know who cooks. That person is probably trying to figure out how to be able to run their business their way, but they don't have the funding. Technically, all you're doing is financing them and making sure that they have what they need. And then you take your cut from whatever it is. So there's so many different ways to get to where you want to be able to go, but you have to be clear about where you're at and what your intentions are. I loved your story about the young lady saying that she didn't really need the money. Like, to me, I like, it's not about the money. Like, people have said, like, well, how much do you charge? I charge what I charge, but if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, you're not asking me about the price, because
Right.
I'm giving you so many different things to shows like this is an investment in your business. Not to mention, from the financial side, at the end of the year, you get to write this off anyway. So it's not like you're spending money, you're investing money that either is going to save you from spending more money at the end of the year where you have to give some of that back, or you're going to get something back because you invested in your business and you invested in your belief in what you're doing. So there are so many different things that fall into it, and I love that you were able to get to that root point from her to say, well, if it's not about the money, then we can have a completely different conversation,
Yeah.
and this won't feel like work to you. You get back to what makes you love it, and then everybody will love what you're doing because you're back to what brings you joy.
Yeah. Sean, a phrase that you used a while back was the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
I say all the time that growing your brand and running your business can and should feel like breathing.
Mm.
It should not feel like work. It should feel fun. It should feel like something that you're excited to get up and do. And for a lot of us, for most of us, I would say that's not the case. But it's because we're distracted. We're distracted from the things that we think we're supposed to want. And like you said, I love that. Chasing 50s in the wind while stepping on 20s on the floor. There is an easy way. What is the path of least resistance? It's there, but you might need somebody like Sean or like me to help you find it.